Hi and welcome to this episode of Game Creation. So yesterday we absolutely nailed the best way of making your game or app responsive. Now, I use the word responsive because I come from web designing, web background, and in the websites we always use responsive. Some of you might use that term for, as one of the comments said, for making your game run better, making the frame rate better, etc., and might use the word resolution, okay, and that's absolutely fine. So different people call things different things, and that's fine. So if you got a bit confused, that's how I mean it. It's just different screen sizes and stuff. And we did really, really good work yesterday, and I think for some of you, you'll watch that video and go, oh, okay, that's how you do it. That's what I wanted from the start. I wanted to share this with my friend who has a different size monitor and let him have the same, or her have the same experience as I've got on my slightly smaller or slightly bigger monitor. Now, one of the comments I read yesterday was you could kind of cheat your game if you put together a whole load of 4K monitors. You could see the entire game world, which I think sounds pretty cool. But yeah, you'd have to build in restrictions. As I said, most people have 4K monitors. Maybe after 4K, then for 8K you letterbox it or stretch it after that, or find a different way, a different approach to do it. That's absolutely going to be the case. The stuff we learnt yesterday isn't infinite, and it also isn't infinitely small. So there are some devices, when I do websites, there are some devices that I don't support anymore. The smallest I do is the Samsung Flip front screen. That's the thinnest I think that I support. It's like 380 pixels wide or something. Beyond that, I'm sorry, but my websites just aren't going to work. There comes a point where you've got to kind of cut people off and go, look, if you're rocking an iPhone 3G, like, you've had it. Although I think I still support those with my websites. But anyway, I'm waffling. So what we're doing today, we're going to do some really, really quick, easy settings that just make your game feel like a game. Like, suddenly it will click and it will be like, right, okay, this is starting to feel like one of those games I download from Steam, okay? We're not going to do anything complicated. We might need to expand the virtual width and height because it doesn't actually fill up my monitor, which is going to be quite irritating for today's game. So what I might do is double it, which means I'm going to have to do some maths. So what I'm probably going to do is pause it, do some maths, and then unpause it. And it's going to be seamless. You're not going to notice, and I'm going to look like a mathematical genius, which is she's supposed to be is my background. But anyway, let's get started. So we're opening up the project. Again, you don't need to have this project. If you don't have this project, it's not the end of the world. You can do all this stuff just on your own project. And what I want to do is just double the game world. So we're looking at the virtual width and virtual height, and I'm looking at doubling those. So double 80 is 160, so that would be 2560. And double 60 is 120, so that would be 1920. Is that correct? I hope so. So we've doubled the height and width, and we've got this looping, although I think that will work with the looping now, hopefully. Yeah, it does. Good. So hopefully if I move the guy down, yeah, it will scroll. Brilliant. Excellent. Right. So we're going to look at doing some settings. Now the settings are, I think, all in this one. So remember, all the settings for the frame are these, but because what we're looking at doing is getting rid of the window, the menu, all that stuff that make it look not very like a game, you have to get rid of that for all frames, right? So it's not just frame specific. And what I'm going to do is try and pull this up a bit. I normally code on my 4K monitor upstairs, and this is a 1080p. 1080p is better for YouTube videos because it means that the text is bigger and it's easier for you guys to see. Okay, so what am I doing? Okay, first thing to get rid of is the heading. So we want to get rid of the heading. So let's see what that does. So straight away, we don't have that draggy heading bit. The other thing to really remember to do is have an event to close it. I've been caught out before. So you want to say on escape key. Do we have this as a global event? We probably want this as a global event. So if you don't have global event editor, that's fine. You can do it on each of the frames, but you can add it on the global event editor. So escape, and we want to close the end the application. So with, I don't know what it is, 2.5, Clickteam 2.5, you get this global editor and this, so you can put events on every frame. If you don't have that, that's fine. You can just do it on every frame, right? So it's not the end of the world. Okay. So if I run it, I can press escape now to shut it, which is actually really helpful. I know there are shortcuts. I don't know what the shortcut is. Let's move this out of the way. I don't know what the shortcut is. I think there is a shortcut to do it. I think it's one of the F buttons. But anyway, so we've got escape now, which is really useful. Okay, now I want to get rid of this menu because most games don't have a menu up there. That's built sort of for applications, isn't it? So we want to get rid of that. So click on your app again, and this is when I sit and, there we are. Simple. Right, get rid of that. Okay. And so we've got like this weird kind of just hovering game, okay? And notice you can't close it down without the use of this menu, right? So if we ran it now and made it, no one would ever be able to shut it down. So that's why we've got the escape key in. Now, this is weird, right? You're not going to download a game on Steam and it kind of comes up like this. At least, you would probably ask for a refund. So what we need to do... Oh, sorry about that. I've got a phone call from the mother-in-law. Always fun. Right. So what we're doing now, so what we want to do is we want it to become full screen when you start it up. And so you want maximized on boot up, right? That's how a game works, right? It takes over the screen, right? So if I run it now, it will be maximized on boot up. So you can imagine like going to Steam, whatever, running your game, and then, we need a title menu and all that stuff, which we might do tomorrow. Notice that this is still letterboxed, and so it shows that you can have things that are letterboxed. That still works. It's all to do with the virtual height and virtual width and all that stuff. And so, it still becomes letterboxed, and that's absolutely fine. Let's attack this slim slime. This is fun. I like this. Bosh. Oh, hey. Oh, weirdly, that puts me back at the top. I must be using an old version of this, because the one that we did put me back to where it was supposed to, where I'd done the encounter. So I must have accidentally used an old version of this. But yeah, this is basically it for today's video. Like, you can see that you just click a few buttons and straight away we don't have that horrible menu bar, which no one ships a game. I would imagine no one ships a game with that menu bar. Obviously some applications and stuff that would be useful, but don't leave them in your game. And also it becoming full screen, and because it's responsive, when it goes full screen, it's really, really nice. We could do with adding like a menu. That would be good, and maybe we do that next week or the week after, and make this feel more like a game. But I'm going to leave it there for today. So thank you very much for watching. Keep your comments coming in, and if you like this video, click like. If you want to see more from us, click subscribe. And again, thank you.